Alright, what's up guys? It's Hyperbaba, and today we're going to be trying something new. We're going to go over the patch notes. This is the preseason patch notes for League of Legends. So first off, over here, just have a brief overview of everything. I'm not really going to watch this because I'm going to go through each change, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it and how I think this will affect the meta in any way, or like if it's going to change exactly what's going on currently. So first off, we have a Dark Harvest change. It's a little balance. Um, they recently just reworked Dark Harvest, I believe in this patch actually. Yeah, I think so. So here they're not really doing anything too powerful. They're just toning down the base damage to make sure that it's not completely busted as it was earlier in the previous patches, and it still continues to be a strong rune. It's just this won't really affect how people are using it and how strong it actually is. It's still going to be strong for what it is. Aatrox, uh, basically here what they're doing is they're just reducing the time duration. She's still going to be good at what he does. He's still going to have his triple Q. He's still going to have his knock up, and I guess it just makes you need to be more cautious in the way you're using your ultimate. But even then, it's only 2 seconds, which may be a lot in League of Legends time, but it's honestly not that much. And it's more forgiving when you don't actually. His ultimate's more forgiving when you don't actually completely like commit, because now when you're over 80% of your health during your ultimate, you regain full health. So not really doing too many things or changing too many things with Aatrox. Ezreal. So personally, as an ADC main, I thought Ezreal was busted, as he was already with his W damage, because it was insanely good. But what they're doing is they're actually upping the base damage, and they're upping the ability power ratio. So this will definitely work with AP Ezreal mid lane, just like how I think it was Runeglaive in like 2016 or 2015. That was really good. This, um, if people wanted to play Ezreal mid like Civ, I think that's his name. Uh, yeah, it'll definitely help with that. But not only that, if you go the Monomune into like Frozen Gauntlet into the Saris Embrace, that's also going to be very helpful for mixed damage as an ADC. Here, the True Shot Barrage. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but before it used to reduce damage through every enemy it hit, but now they're changing that so that they don't really change. Um, yeah, it's no longer reducing, so it's going to have a flat rate, but monsters and like minions are taking 50% damage. So I was thinking about this earlier, and I think this will be good because you can definitely calculate the amount of damage, the specific amount of damage you will do. So when you're trying to do something like Steel Baron, you know exactly like, all right, I have 600 damage from my ultimate. If I time it right, I can get that. And when you're cross map sniping, you won't get reduced damage on the enemy if you're like going through, I don't know, Gromp, and like if you're shooting from bot lane and you're trying to go to top lane, you just pew like you won't get reduced damage from hitting minions or anything on the way up. Lissandra. So they reworked Lissandra. Um, they're trying to bring her back to the meta, even though she was kind of already in the meta with the Aftershock Lissandra, and the top lane is really good. So they changed her passive. Personally, I don't really know too much about the passive. They're upping her attack speed at level 1. They've been doing this with a lot of champions just to make sure they have a better early game. Good mana, or they're doubling her mana regen growth, which is not really going to affect her too much. Um, she's still going to have a kind of harsh lane with high mana costs. Basic attacks, they fly faster. Um, I mean, what are you going to do with that? The new passive, so it's obviously new. Her passive, just doing all that stuff. Here they're reducing her mana cost just to kind of say, hey, yeah, her Q is her damage output, her main damage output. So if we reduce the mana cost, maybe it'll help her out a bit. But at the same time, buffing this slightly, they're going to nerf her W. Um, her cost is down, but the damage ratio is going down by quite a lot, especially, not quite a lot, but just enough to tip her over, I think. And her glacial path is now traveling, uh, not at a flat rate, but at a fast to decaying rate. Her ultimate is losing her AP ratio, so she's trying to be more powerful in the lane and not as much in the. They're trying to push her to be more powerful in the lane, especially with the early game mana reduction, and be less powerful in the team fights, maybe just by a little bit, especially with her AoE W and AoE ultimate. Taliyah. Q cooldown cost, workaround duration decrease, Q multi-hit damage penalty now applies to everything, not just champions. So cooldown is down, so alright, cool. Cost is down. Everything takes 50 reduced damage from stones beyond first hit, okay. We work ground, lasts less. So this is definitely going to be interesting because her cooldown is down and her mana is down, but everything just takes reduced damage. She's still going to be a very powerful jungler, and she's still not going to be as good as she is in the jungle as she is in mid lane, or she's not going to be as good in mid lane as she is at jungle. But this will help definitely a lot with the nice early game clear, just for Warwick ground expiring earlier, and cooldowns faster. Yorick, just bugs, cool. Doran shield after taking damage from an enemy champion. Regenerate up to 30 health over 10 seconds based on missing health cap at. Okay, cool. So they just kind of mini rework Doran shield just to make it more powerful for, or less. They want this item not to appeal for like someone like Riven, where maybe you're in a losing lane, but you want it more for someone like Maokai, where you're gonna get smashed hard by like a Jace, like Riven Jace. Riven's not gonna take as much damage as the Jace would, or I mean as a Maokai would. So this is really just trying to bring it back for the tanks and not so much as the bruisers. Gunsoo's Rage Blade, cooldown or cost is lowered. On hit damage is flat. Penetration now grants penetration of armor or magic. Oh, both. Depending on level. It no longer grants 2.5 bonus attack speed. So it's flat? I'm confused. I'll pull this item up later. Jungle items. Monster Hunter gold penalty remove. Alright. Okay, so they basically just retracted what they nerfed with the jungling item to make what is it, like smite mid laner is good. Relic shield. Minion executes, they're putting it higher so that it's easier to kill minions. It's not really that big a deal. Control ward, they're capping it, so I think Riot, the way they're going, especially with last year and the Worlds, they think, or currently in my mind, what I think Riot is thinking is that vision is not the way to go. Korea has dominated plenty of years with vision control and like map control, but with less vision and more Clown Fiesta, it'll be an interesting or more interesting game. Trinket scaling, live just or averages level of all champions. That's interesting. Yeah, so this once again goes to the fact that they're reworking the preseason to be not so much as snowball heavy and more just and more of a how do I say it? Just a more general scaling game, not being completely done by like 10 minutes in. War duration, yeah, and they're making wards last less. Even though at 18 for the specific champion it was at 180 seconds, it's now at 120. Like I said before, they're trying to reduce the amount of vision a team has to make it more of a Cloud Fiesta. Turret plating. So just like I was saying back up here, they're trying to make the game last longer and not have it completely smashed before 10 minutes, but make it easy enough for you to get back in. Turret adjustments. This whole new turrets thing is really good. You get a lot of gold, especially with your jungler. If you bring them in like 3-man bot lane, you can definitely take a lot of gold in one swoop if you take more than one shield off the turret. I'm not going to read through all this just because I'm sure you've all seen the turret plating. Minions and monsters. This is just they're making the minions better in the late game, so that it's harder for someone to snowball through the game and immediately win. Once again, they're trying to make the game last a little bit longer, but make it easy enough for you to still win if you have the lead. Elemental Drakes are just doing all these things to make things come back faster and have the game run more smooth. AP ratio decreased on Fleet Footwork. Celerity, movement speed bonus increased by 8%. What the frick? Okay, no longer converts bonus speed. Oh, so amplifies movement speed bonuses. Oh, okay, interesting. So this is more like you pair this up with what's it called? Relentless Hunter, and you will get a lot more movement speed out of combat, but it doesn't apply for like your base movement speed. Dark Harvest updated. Dark Harvest procs against enemy champions below 50% health. Any damage, that's insane. The damage scales with ability power and attack damage and level. And cooldown is 45 seconds. So you can get it like let's see, 2 within half minute, 4 within 3 minutes. You can get 8 within 6 minutes, which is crazy. Ravenous Hunter, base healing is down, but the bonus stays the same. So I guess they're thinking Ravenous Hunter was a bit too overtoned, but they didn't want to completely deplete what Ravenous Hunter brought. So they're just gonna tweak it a little bit. 1% might not look like a lot, but in the long run, it would probably heal a lot more. Demolish is charging up less, and damage is less. So more often, but less damage. Okay, that's actually not that bad. It's still gonna do what it wants to do. Shield Bash. Whenever shielded, gain bonus magic armor, magic resist. After you gain a shield, your next basic attack does extra damage. That is interesting. I like this new rune. Bone plating lasts less and blocks more. So it's more rewarding for the short trades, but it's not in a long fight. Won't do as much as it would in like a short trade, a burst. Chrysalis has been completely removed. Quite unfortunate. Overgrowth +3 per 8 minion or monster death. That's pretty good. Full house at 120 minion or monster death. Also gain an additional 2.5 max health. This is really good for someone like Dr. Mundo. You just sit in the top lane and you farm, or possibly someone like Sion, where you just sit there and you farm, and once you hit 120 minions, you literally gain extra health. And especially for someone like Sion, where you just stack health, and that gives you extra damage. This could also work for Pyke, because you know your Pyke health immediately scales in AD, and that'll help you kill faster. There are many implications to this new Overgrowth rune that I think could be utilized. Kleptomancy, it's now next 2 basic auto attacks. Pretty good for someone like Lucian, where your double autos now proc twice. Great. Wards no longer drop after 20 minutes. Amazing. No one liked wards anyways. Item drop decreased to account for the additional proc per spellcast. Oh, okay. So you no longer get items as often as you used to. Bounties are good because they're trying to reward players that are behind. They're trying to make the ground between snowballing and being snowballed upon more even. This definitely helps out a little bit, but not too much. I played a little bit. I played a couple of games in this patch, and the bounties don't really seem to me like they're doing that much. Minimum kill gold, so you always still get 100 gold at least. It's not that bad. Teleport is 4 seconds instead of 4.5. Can't be cancelled by the caster once cast. Oh, so you can't cancel it. Channel time can no longer be cancelled. That's not good. um, canceling teleport was definitely using teleport for pressure was definitely a big thing, especially in pro play, and being able to cancel teleport and keep the spell cooldown was really important. But if they're taking that away, it's gonna be very you're gonna have to be very conscious in the way you use teleport, especially if you have to fully commit to a fight when maybe you shouldn't be doing that, and maybe you should be applying pressure in the top lane or keeping pressure in the bot lane. But for the ADC teleport meta, this doesn't really change anything. You're still using teleport for what it is. But I think um, deleting the cancel will bring a little bit of throw wrench into things, just a bit. Ranked armor. This is all not too many things. Okay, whatever, skins. Let's go look at that Rage Blade item, because I'm thoroughly confused as to what that is. Rage Blade. Okay. So, basic attacks deal 15% damage on hit. So you get flat AD, flat AP, and flat attack speed. It still triggers the on-hit effects. So this no longer will be as good on someone like I don't know. Actually, I think this will still be great for um, attack speed Varus, attack speed Kai'Sa, attack speed Kog'Maw. Honestly, this will be perfectly fine, and it'll also be really good for someone like Jax. Still, Gunsoo's Rage Blade is toned down, definitely, but it's still gonna be good. I think I'm still gonna personally use it. I'm gonna use it on Kai'Sa. As long as you're getting out that passive damage on Kai'Sa, you are perfectly fine. And the same thing with Varus. As long as you're applying those stacks, you're good. And Kog'Maw, this is still just as good because you just need to pump out all those attacks, as many as you can. So that'll be it for this patch overview. I hope you enjoyed, and maybe we'll go again next time.